Bernie Sanders and I think Representative Pramila Jayapal, as well as like almost 100 other Democrats, were in front of the Capitol today for like a conference. They wanted to reintroduce Medicare for all, universal health care. There was a huge gathering there today, but the thing that really bothered me about it is that not too many people were actually covering this. I feel like I was like scrolling through, trying to find other people talking about it, trying to find news outlets that were covering it. Very sparse. Almost no one was actually talking about the fact that Bernie Sanders was introducing universal health care. Again, something that, if we just go back a few months, right, it seems like it was the topic of discussion basically everywhere for weeks after the shooting of the United Healthcare CEO by Luigi Mangione, allegedly. So,
I was going to say,
allegedly.
heavy on the allegedly.
Yes. So, what was your reaction when you came across this? Do you think that we can actually get this conversation rolling again to where it was at like a few years ago, or do you think that too many people kind of like moved on from the conversation of universal health care?
So I don't want to bring I know this was supposed to be the non-doom part of the
Right.
conversation, but just like you, I had not seen it actually until you brought it up. I didn't even
Yeah.
know that he had introduced it. And the problem is because they're flooding the zone, right? And
Yeah.
people are worried about where their paychecks coming from, if they're even going to have Medicare. Like I think because we are so like looking off the cliff right now, we can't even look and see what's on the hill. And that's, I feel like, why it did not get coverage. There's just so much day to day that people can't keep up with.
Yeah.
And I personally would be excited to have this conversation, but also there's a part of me that knows that we're not going to have the momentum. We had a momentum, like you're saying, we had a conversation going. We don't have that momentum right now. So as much as I applaud Bernie Sanders and these 100 other Democrats for doing what they're supposed to do, and getting things to the desks that need to be. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, and that's gonna be my frustration until the midterms, because we are screwed till then to even be able to stop anything essentially. And I say
No.
we like I'm a Democrat, but I'm not. I would say whatever left is,
Right. It's kind of a convoluted thing anymore. I mean,
yeah,
so I don't blame you there. I would say this. I have been, and I think everyone to a degree who is on the political left, or the American political left, has been asking for people to do something to provide some kind of hope, to provide some
correct,
kind of direction forward. And for me, I can't see any direction forward that does not include universal health care.
sure,
So are we in a position right now to actually enact this? Even if like say you pie in the sky, you retake the House, retake the Senate, you take the presidency in 2028. Are we in that political climate right now? I'm not sure, but I know that we can't actually get there
yep,
until we start laying the groundwork here. And I think Bernie and some, and plenty of others as well are kind of seeing that if we are ever going to get to that point, you got to start just laying the groundwork ahead of time. You have to have the conversations ahead
I
of
agree,
time. Getting 100 Congress members to show up and sign off on this, that is much more than they've had in the past.
correct,
So I find this to be incredibly hopeful. Obviously, it's just the first step. You have to essentially get this conversation to be everywhere in the political zeitgeist right now in order for it to actually get any kind of traction whatsoever. So, yeah, I think it's very necessary. And as we've talked about this before. I mean, every country, that's developed in some way has universal health care. There are like what I think it was like 70 of them
yes,
around the world who have universal health care. So, but there's no reason why we can't have it. And I think that the conversations that we see against it just really never make any sense to me. I'm always very skeptical of, especially Democrats who try to talk about why we can't have universal health care. Like they are major red flags to me whenever I hear that from people
correct.
in our own party.
Oh, I agree. I feel like anybody that was pushing back against that right now, like I said, it's just like I always explain it like the election was going to go two ways. Five houses are on fire. If we get Harris, two houses are on fire, three are put
Yeah,
out. If we get where we are at now, not only is the whole house on fire, all five, the rest of the neighborhood is as well. So I
right.
think that it's good that they're continuing the conversation, but I think because there's just so much going on right now
Yeah,
with cuts, and they're just literally taking a sledgehammer to the government right now.
right.
I feel like that's why it doesn't get so much coverage, because all it's going to take is one more hit, and that conversation won't be happening for the next 10 to 20 years.
No, I agree. And it's one of those things where it's like you have to kind of like stabilize where we're at right now before we can go forward. But I think at the same time, you have to be looking forward as well while you're trying to make sure that
100%.
there is a government left over. And for everyone who's watching right now, You can go ahead and click at the top of the screen. Make sure you're following Saadia on here. She's kind of new to Substack, but her platform is absolutely great everywhere else that she's been. So I'm sure that once she starts getting on Substack more, it'll be better on here too. She's got to post on
I'm
here a little
taking
bit
your lead
more.
on this.
Yeah, just yeah. So unfortunately, though, not all good news today. We are seeing plenty of bad things here with the Trump regime because, well, it's Trump, right? So